Hi guys, it's Natalie here again today, and I wanted to show you a really fun, interesting, different technique. Now, a word of warning, it involves glitter, and glitter always involves mess. There is no way of getting around this. But this method or this little embellishment that I'm going to teach you today definitely involves a lot of mess. So if you're perhaps not so glitter inclined, then I think you could definitely do a very similar thing with sequins or small beads, something very small. But anyway, let me show you what I'm going to do, and then you can try and figure out how you can make it adapt to you in your mess-less lifestyle. But for me, like, I love glitter, so I don't mind. It does get everywhere. That's just part and parcel of using glitter, I think. What sort of inspired this idea today is that, you know, I just got all of these, the new Bella Boulevard Illustrated Faith products, and lots of them, because, you know, like, I got every sticker in every different color, and they're really fun, and they all come packaged so nicely in these plastic packets. And I am somebody who just likes to be able to grab my stickers when I need them, so I've taken lots of them out of their packaging already, and then I was left with lots of these plastic pockets, and it just occurred to me that it would be really great if I could find some way of using those as well. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. This, just, you know, work with it, go with it. So here we go. We've got a plastic packet, and you can obviously use any of your plastic packaging. These ones come with the hole in the top where, you know, you hang it up on the stand. So for our purposes today, I actually want to stick that hole over, and I've just got some clear packing tape. It really doesn't matter what you use. Sticky tape, washi tape, really, I'm just blocking off that hole so that the glitter, which I'm about to pour into this bag, won't escape. So the other end is all nicely sealed up. I have got some red and pink. Now this is extra fine glitter, and I really think after experimenting with this that it would look and perhaps be less messy if you use like that extra chunky glitter. Which I don't have, so I'm using the extra fine, but I think, as I said, it would be less messy if you used something with more chunk. So look, I am just going to pour in a bunch of this into my packet and quickly sealing it up. Like, I don't believe in just making a mess everywhere, and I'm just kind of spreading it out a little bit into my packet like this, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is grab my sewing machine, and I'm going to create a little embellishment by sewing. Well, let me set up my sewing machine and I'll show you exactly what I mean. All right, friends, so here's what I've got. This is my scrapbooking dedicated sewing machine. All right, yes, I have one of those, and not because I have a different one that is for fabric. So I don't really do any sewing unless it's on paper, but seriously, I use my sewing machine on, like, pretty much all of my scrapbooking layouts, my project life pages, my cards, anything I make, I use my sewing machine for. So this sewing machine, you know, I've tried and tested, and it runs on paper, and that's all I use it for. So I would certainly also suggest that if you are a dressmaker or you use fabric, then again, this is definitely not a technique that you probably want to be using your sewing machine for. But if you're like me and your needle is gummed up with glue and you've got it figured out about what settings you need for paper, and you don't mind a little bit of glittery mess, then you could give this one a go. All right, so here's what I've got. This is the glittery paper, and I am wanting to make roses. Now, I chose roses because it's really simple. Like, I'm about to just sew a circle in my plastic, okay? So I've just got white thread, And I haven't ruled any lines. It's really rough, but again, that's just what we're going for. And I've just sewn a circle all the way through my glittery paper, bringing it back to the beginning so that it seals off. And then I'm going to create a little twirly pattern in here too, just really roughly. And there we go. Can you see this circle here? And while I'm going, I'm going to create maybe 2 more here, and then I am going to just use scissors to cut around just the outside of this circle, and I'll come back and I'll show you what they all look like after I've done that. Okay guys, so this is what I've been left with, is these 2 glittery, plasticky, messy sewing, fun roses. And I also did some leaves, which was just a simple sort of teardrop shape with some green glitter. And I preemptively painted a black acrylic paint in my journaling Bible, just in my margins, so that you can still read all of the words, because I thought this is really going to make these colors really show up on the black rather than on the white. And you know, it's just something a little bit different. So I'm just going to arrange, I think I'm going to have like one at the top. I'm going to say a little something here, and then one at the bottom as well. Something like that. And because I've got black paint down, I obviously can't write on it with a black pen, so I've got a white Sharpie marker here, a Sharpie paint pen, which I find works really well. And I'm just going to use a quote here. The quote was something that my pastor said in the Sunday sermon, and it struck me, so I wrote it down. So let me just refer to my notes. It says, "The question isn't how do you feel about your situation, but rather how does God see your situation?" And I was just going to just journal that quote. And I've chosen to do this in Joshua 6, which is about where they walk around the city of Jericho and the walls fall down. And I just chose that because, you know, it's a time where, of course, the situation, when you're seeing it with your human eyes, seems like impossible, but God already had a plan. And so instead of seeing it with our human eyes, it's about seeing it through God eyes. So I was going to write, and I'm going to stick these down. I just want to make sure I've got my spacing right. The question isn't how do you feel about, and I'm going to write situation in these letters. So it's going to go over a sort of a couple of lines here. Where's the U? I haven't sort of stuck these firmly down yet, because I guess I'm going to be playing around with the spacing a little bit. So before I firmly stick them in place, I just want to get all of the letters on so that I can figure out where they need to go. Is that this upside down? Should it go that way? Yeah, I think that looks better that way. Better. So the question isn't how do you feel about your situation, but rather how does God see your situation? Cool, hey? And I was hoping I might just have space for embellishment down here. But maybe I don't. Maybe it's going to go up there. Okay, let me stick these on so that we know again how much space we've got to move around. And I'm actually thinking, so this cluster's a little bit smaller. This might be better suited at the top. I'm using glossy accents to glue these on. Just because it's a good, really strong glue, like you don't need very much of it, so it's not going to wet the page too much, and then it just sticks really well. So I'm just using a little bit. It's also going to help sort of seal up the ends of where I did that sewing. So that one will go there, and I'm happy for these things to sort of stick out the top a little bit and stick off the edges. So something like that. And then will I be able to stick this one over the top? All right, so that is my page today. Like, it's really quite sort of simple and straightforward as far as what I've done here in the margins, but you know, it's got this fun and interesting embellishment on it that's you know, just going to sort of spark your attention and spark your imagination when you get to that page. Thanks for joining with me again today, and I'd love to see it if you ever try something different and unusual or anything involving glitter in your journaling Bible. I'll see you again soon. Bye.